Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Top Coin. Have you ever looked at a coin and thought, is this little thing worth anything? Well, today we're diving deep into one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American history, the 1971-cent coin. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, but trust me, you might want to take a closer look at those pennies lying around in your pocket or jar because the 1970 penny could be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. In fact, this humble coin has a fascinating history and, in certain conditions, could be worth thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard me right. So, stick with me as we uncover the hidden treasure of the 1970 US 1-cent coin. Let's first take a step back and understand a bit about the history of the 1-cent coin. The 1-cent coin, or penny as we commonly call it, has been part of the United States currency since the late 18th century. But the specific year we're looking at today, 1970, comes during an interesting period in the history of U.S. currency. By this time, the U.S. government had already stopped using pure copper in pennies, which had been the standard material for the 1-cent coin for many years. In 1970, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies that were composed of 95% copper, and that 5% was zinc. This composition remained standard until the early 1980s when a dramatic change was made to help cut costs. But for now, in 1970, the design of the penny was still featuring the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, which had been used since 1909. This design by Victor David Brenner has remained one of the most recognizable and enduring designs in American coinage history. Now, let's talk about the particular year, 1970. By the late 60s and early 70s, the United States was experiencing some economic challenges, especially with inflation and the cost of precious metals rising. But all of that is far removed from the surprising fact that the 1970 penny, which many people would toss away without a second thought, is actually quite special. What makes the 1970 penny unique? Well, it's not just any ordinary penny. In fact, there are certain rare variants of the 1970 penny that are worth way more than just 1 cent. The story behind this is tied to how and where the coin was minted. The U.S. Mint produces coins in a few different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While the regular pennies produced in Philadelphia and Denver are worth the same as a regular penny, the ones produced in San Francisco, known as proof coins, are something else entirely. Proof coins are special coins made for collectors. They are created in limited numbers, using higher quality materials, and have a much sharper, more detailed appearance than regular coins. They were never intended for circulation. The 1970 penny, in particular, saw a very limited number of proof coins made, making it a highly sought-after piece for coin collectors. These coins have a mirror-like finish, and they were made in small quantities. If you come across one of these, you're looking at something that could be worth far more than a penny. Additionally, one of the rarest types of 1970 pennies is a variety known as the double die variety. What does that mean? Well, due to a minting error, some 1970 pennies feature a design that appears to be doubled or duplicated. This error happened when the die used to strike the coins was improperly aligned. As a result, the date and other parts of the design, such as the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," show up as if they are written twice. This type of error is a collector's dream. It's a mistake that happened only in a very small number of coins, making it a rare find and a valuable one. So, what's the market value of a 1970 penny today? Let's break it down. First, a regular 1970 penny, one that was minted for circulation and doesn't have any special minting errors or features, is worth just 1 cent. Yes, the typical penny you might find in your pocket is still worth 1 cent, even though it's now more than 50 years old. But where things get interesting is when you start looking at coins that are in better condition or those that are special variants. If you happen to have a 1970 penny in excellent condition, say, one that has been well preserved with no visible wear or damage, it might be worth a little more than face value. In uncirculated condition, a 1970 penny might fetch anywhere between 10 to 50 cents, depending on its quality and the demand from collectors. However, it's the rarer, more unique versions of the coin that can really skyrocket in value. 1970 S-proof penny. If you've got a 1970 S-proof penny, especially one in pristine condition, you could be looking at a value of anywhere from $3 to $10 or even more. Proof coins are in much better shape than regular circulating coins, and because of their limited mintage, they're in high demand among collectors. 1970 double die penny. Now, let's get to the really exciting part. If you've stumbled upon a 1970 penny with the double die error, you've potentially got a coin worth a fortune. In some cases, these coins can be worth anywhere between $500 and $1,000, depending on the quality of the coin and the collector's market at the time of sale. Some especially well-preserved examples have even been known to sell for over $3,000 in high-grade condition. That's right, a small error in the minting process turned a penny into a rare treasure. You might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1970 penny is worth more than just a cent? Here are some tips for spotting a valuable 1970 penny. Check the mint mark. Look at the letter D, S, or no mint mark at all, Philadelphia. If there's an S, mint mark, you've got a possible candidate for a proof coin. Inspect for the double die error. Look closely at the date and the inscriptions on the coin. If you notice any doubling, where the letters or numbers appear to have two distinct impressions, that's a sure sign you've got a rare error coin. Assess the condition. Coins in higher grades, uncirculated, or MS-60 and above, are worth more. A coin in pristine condition, with no wear on the design or significant scratches, can be significantly more valuable than a worn-out one. Check for proof coins. If you have a 1970 penny that has a mirror-like finish, a sharp, crisp design, and no signs of circulation, it's likely a proof coin. These are valuable to collectors. If you think you found a rare 1970 penny, your next step is figuring out how to sell it. You can start by having the coin appraised by a professional numismatist or taking it to a reputable coin dealer. Many online platforms, like eBay or specialized auction sites, also offer opportunities to sell rare coins directly to collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for these hidden gems. Who would have thought that a coin as small and unassuming as a 1-cent piece could carry so much history and value, right? So, next time you're rummaging through your spare change, remember that the 1970 US penny may just be hiding a big secret. Whether it's a proof coin, a double die variety, or just one in excellent condition, you might be holding on to a little piece of American history that's worth a lot more than you ever imagined. So go ahead, take a good look at those pennies. They could be worth more than just their face value. Today, we're diving deep into a humble piece of copper that you've probably seen 1,000 times. Maybe even have it in your pocket right now, the 1991 1-cent coin from the United States of America. But don't be fooled by its small size or face value. This penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Some of these coins are selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition, mint mark, and rare errors. So stick around, because in this video, we're not just talking about pocket change. We're uncovering a hidden gem of American coinage that could change your view of coins forever. Let's rewind time and take you back to 1991, a year filled with change, both culturally and economically. George H.W. Bush was president. The Gulf War had just ended. Grunge music was on the rise. And in the world of U.S. coinage, the U.S. Mint continued producing the Lincoln cent, a coin that had been in circulation since 1909. But by 1991, the Lincoln cent had already gone through some significant transformations. Originally struck in 95% copper, the composition had been changed in 1982 due to rising copper prices. From that year on, most Lincoln cents, including those from 1991, were made from a core of 99.2% zinc with a thin copper plating. This means your 1991 penny is mostly zinc, but don't let that discourage you. The value of a coin isn't just in its metal content. It's in its history, rarity, and condition. And the 1991 penny has a story that makes it stand out from the crowd. Let's take a close look at the coin itself. On the obverse side, we have the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood the test of time for over a century. Above Lincoln's head, you'll find the motto, "In God We Trust," a reminder of the coin's place in American tradition. To the left, Liberty is etched proudly, and to the right, the date, 1991. Below the date, you might see a small letter, either a D for Denver or no letter at all, indicating it was struck in Philadelphia. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial. This reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, was introduced in 1959 and remained until 2008. If you look closely, you can even spot a tiny depiction of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial, an amazing detail on such a small canvas. In 1991, the United States Mint produced billions of these coins. Specifically, over 5.16 billion came from Philadelphia and about 4.16 billion were struck in Denver. That's a lot of pennies, but not all of them are created equal. Among these billions are a few rare gems that collectors are hunting for. Here's where things get exciting. While most 1991 pennies are only worth face value, some rare varieties and error coins can fetch serious money on the collector's market. Let's start with condition. A 1991 penny in circulated condition may only be worth 1 cent, but a coin in mint state, especially in grades MS 65 and above, can be worth up to $10 to $50, depending on demand. The highest auction price for a 1991 D penny graded MS 68 read by PCGS was over $3,000. Yes, for a penny. Now, let's talk errors, because this is where the real treasures lie. Keep an eye out for off-center strikes, coins where the design is not perfectly aligned. These can sell for $20 to over $100, depending on how dramatic the error is. Double die obverse, DDO, rare versions where the lettering or date appears doubled. These are highly collectible and can go for hundreds of dollars. Die cracks, cuds, or clip planchets, minting defects that create unusual patterns or shapes in the coin. These quirky coins are loved by error collectors. Struck on the wrong planchet. An extremely rare mistake where the penny is struck on a foreign or smaller coin blank. These are rare jackpot finds. If you have rolls of old pennies lying around, you could be sitting on a hidden fortune. So what's the market like today for 1991 1-cent coins? Well, thanks to platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and PCGS, coins can be bought and sold with ease, and their prices are more transparent than ever. On online marketplaces, error coins from 1991 can range from $10 to several $100s depending on rarity and condition. A standard 1991 penny in mint state might not turn heads, but if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, collectors are often willing to pay a premium to complete their data mint sets. If you come across a proof coin, which was only made in San Francisco, that 1991 penny might look like a mirror and be worth a few dollars to even $15 or more in top condition. But be cautious. These proofs were only sold in sets and shouldn't be found in pocket change unless someone cracked open a set and spent it. The takeaway here is simple. Condition is king. The better your penny looks, the more a collector may be willing to pay. But if you have one with a rare mint error, then you might be holding something truly special. You might be wondering, how can I check my own 1991 penny? First, look at the date and mint mark. Then, inspect it under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for any signs of doubling, cracks, or misalignment. Pay close attention to the rim, the date, and the lettering. If you think you've found something unusual, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the coin and reduce its value. Instead, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. And if you're unsure, take a clear photo and share it in online coin forums or with coin appraisal communities. You'll find plenty of friendly and experienced collectors willing to help. So there you have it. The 1991 1-cent coin might be common, but with the right conditions, it could be a tiny treasure worth a small fortune. Whether it's a mint error, an ultra-high grade, or just a fun piece of American history, this humble penny proves that even the smallest things can carry great value. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss an update on hidden coin treasures. Have a 1991 penny? Let us know in the comments and share any cool finds or stories you have. Could this be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary coin from 1993, yes, just 1 cent, could hold a value far beyond its face? In this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1993 United States 1-cent coin. And trust me, you're going to want to check your change after this. From its intriguing history to the valuable errors that can make it worth a small fortune, from minting secrets to current market trends, this video covers it all. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's explore one of the most overlooked gems in U.S. coinage. Don't blink, because even the tiniest detail could turn pocket change into profit. Let's start with the basics. The 1-cent coin, often called the Lincoln penny, has a long and iconic history in the United States. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Before that, coins only had symbolic designs, think Lady Liberty, eagles, and shields. But the penny changed that forever. Fast forward to 1993, a year of change and transition. Bill Clinton had just become president, Jurassic Park roared into theaters, and millions of these 1-cent coins were struck by the U.S. Mint. At first glance, The 1993 penny might not seem that special. It features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design that's been used for decades. But here's the twist: not all 1993 pennies are created equal. Some of them carry hidden secrets. Some of them have mint errors. And some have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars to collectors around the world. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1993 1-cent coin. On the front, or obverse, we have Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Above his head, the words "In God We Trust." To his left, the word "Liberty." To the right, the date, 1993. Now, below the date, you might see a mint mark, either a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco if it's a proof coin. If there's no letter, it was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial. Look closely. If you have sharp eyes or a magnifying glass, you might even notice the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Around the top, it says United States of America, and below that, E Pluribus Unum. At the bottom, of course, the denomination, 1 cent. The coin is made of copper-plated zinc, weighing in at 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters. It may be small, but this tiny coin carries a big story. Now for the part every collector loves, the rare errors and valuable variants of the 1993 penny. You see, most coins are struck perfectly, but sometimes mistakes happen at the US Mint. And when they do, those flawed coins become gold mines for collectors. Let's talk about a few specific types of errors found on 1993 pennies. Double die obverse. DDO. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the die in slightly different positions. It results in a noticeable doubling of letters or numbers, especially in God We Trust, Liberty, or the date 1993. These coins are incredibly collectible, and their value can range from $50 to over $500 depending on condition. Off-center strikes. This error occurs when the coin isn't properly centered during the strike. Some 1993 pennies have been found with 10%, 20%, or even 50% off-center images. A 50% off-center strike can sell for hundreds of dollars, particularly if the date is still visible. Clipped planchet errors. When a blank isn't cut correctly from the metal sheet, you get a coin with a bite taken out of it. That's called a clipped planchet. These are quite rare and can sell for $100 or more. Wrong planchet errors. Imagine a penny struck on a dime planchet or even a foreign coin blank. These are extremely rare but very real. A 1993 penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, could fetch over $1,000 at auction. Die cracks and cuts. Small cracks in the die can leave raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Collectors love these unique characteristics because no two are exactly alike. So if you've got a 1993 penny with any strange markings, double images, or a weird shape, don't spend it. Get it checked out by a coin dealer or professional grading service. Let's talk briefly about proof coins. In 1993, the U.S. Mint produced special proof versions of the penny for collectors, struck in San Francisco and marked with an S mint mark. These coins are specially made with a mirror-like finish and sharp details. They were never meant for circulation, but some might have slipped into the wild over the years. A 1993 S-proof penny in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition can sell for upwards of $75 or more, depending on the market. Condition is king in the world of coin collecting. A beat-up 1993 penny from your junk drawer? Probably worth 1 cent. But a 1993 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition? That's a different story. Coins are graded from 1 to 70 using the Sheldon scale. A mint state, MS 60+ coin is uncirculated and shows no wear. An MS 65 or higher can be worth $5 to $15 or more just for being in such good shape. Add in an error or rarity, and you're talking serious money. And don't forget, coins graded by trusted companies like PCGS or NGC command even higher prices. Let's talk numbers. What are people actually paying for 1993 pennies? A 1993 D penny in MS68 red condition sold for $500 at auction. A 1993 off-center error penny fetched $350 on eBay. A 1993 S-proof penny in PR70 DCM sold for nearly $100. And a double die 1993 Lincoln cent recently sold for $275 just because of that error. These prices aren't just rumors. They're real, documented sales. And with coin collecting gaining popularity online, demand is higher than ever. So now you're probably wondering, How do I know if my 1993 penny is valuable? Here's what to do. Look at the coin under a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, strange markings, or mint marks. Check the color. Red coins, meaning untarnished, are more valuable than brown or mixed tones. Weigh it. It should weigh about 2.5 grams. Anything drastically different might be an error. Get it graded if you think you've got something special. List it for sale on platforms like eBay or through a trusted coin auction house. So there you have it. The story of the 1993 1-cent coin. A tiny piece of metal with the power to surprise you, inspire you, and maybe even make you rich. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned numismatist, the lesson is clear: never overlook the ordinary. Because sometimes, the rarest treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another coin story. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you want me to cover a specific year next. Today, we've got a coppery little mystery that could be hiding in your couch cushions, your change jar, or even your wallet right now. That's right. We're talking about the humble 2001 cent coin from the United States of America. It may look like just another ordinary Lincoln penny, but what if I told you some of these coins are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? That's not just clickbait. That's cold, hard cash. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's unravel the story of the 2000 Lincoln cent, a coin that might just make you a little richer than you expected. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent, also called the Lincoln penny, has been around since 1909. It was introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. Fast forward to the year 2000. And we're still seeing Lincoln's iconic profile facing right on the obverse side of the coin. That's the front, for those new to the hobby. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it's barely changed in nearly a century. The reverse side, that's the back, still features the Lincoln Memorial, which had been in use since 1959. You can even spot a tiny little statue of Lincoln if you look closely at the memorial, a neat little detail that most people miss. Now, the 2000 penny was minted in the Philadelphia and Denver mints, so you'll find coins marked with a small P or D below the date, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia, as it's traditionally left off. But here's the thing: millions of these pennies were made. Over 5 billion, in fact. So why are we even talking about them? Because within those billions, there are a few rare, valuable, and downright bizarre coins that made it into circulation, and they could be worth a lot of money. Let's get into the juicy stuff. The rare varieties and error coins from the year 2000 that collectors are hunting for right now. Point 1. 2000 wide AM reverse. This is the big one, the most well-known and valuable variety from this year. And here's what you're looking for. On the reverse side, check the spacing between the letters A and M in America. On most 2000 pennies, the A and M are touching or very close. This is called the close AM design. But a small number of 2000 pennies were accidentally struck with the reverse design intended for proof coins, the wide AM design, where the letters are noticeably spaced apart. This error happened because of a die mix-up at the mint, and collectors go wild for it. These 2000 wide AM pennies have sold for $200 to over $1,000, depending on their condition. Imagine pulling a coin like that from your pocket change. It's like winning the mini lottery. Point 2. Double die obverse, DDO. Another valuable error to watch for is the double die obverse. This means the die, the metal stamp that imprints the design, had a slight misalignment, causing a doubling effect on the coin. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." If you see any doubling or a shadow-like outline around the letters, congratulations, you might be holding a DDO error. Some of these have sold for hundreds of dollars, especially in high grades. Point 3. Off-center strikes. Sometimes the coin isn't perfectly centered when it's struck. If you see a penny where part of the design is cut off or shifted, that's an off-center strike. The more extreme the error, the more valuable the coin can be. A 2000 Lincoln penny that's 50% off-center with a visible date can easily fetch $100 or more from the right buyer. Point 4. Die cracks, cuds, and BIE errors. Even smaller errors can add value, like die cracks, which appear as raised lines on the coin where the die had a fracture. A cud is a chunk missing from the design due to a broken die, usually around the rim. And there's the fun and collectible BIE error, a die break between the letters B and E in Liberty that looks like an I. They're quirky, fascinating, and sought after by collectors. All right, let's talk money. Cold, hard cash. As of 2025, the coin collecting market is still going strong, and rare 2000 pennies are selling for more than ever on platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, great collections, and even Etsy. A certified 2000 wide AM penny graded MS67 red sold for over $2,000 in a recent auction. A raw coin, that means not professionally graded, with the same variety but less pristine condition, still going for $150 to $400, sometimes more. Off-center coins, depending on how dramatic the error is, you're looking at $50 to $300. Double dies, BIEs, and die cracks vary, but serious collectors pay good money for dramatic examples. And if you're lucky enough to find a proof coin in circulation, or one struck on the wrong planchet, like a foreign coin blank, those can be worth thousands. So yes, your 2000 penny could be worth 1 cent, or it could be worth more than your last paycheck. Now that you're probably itching to check your change jar, let's talk about what to do if you think you found a valuable coin. Examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling, wide AM spacing, off-center strikes, or unusual details. Compare it. Use online resources, coin forums, and auction listings to see if it matches known varieties. Get it graded. If you're pretty sure it's something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can massively increase its value. Sell smart. Don't rush. List your coin on reputable auction sites or reach out to coin dealers. Get multiple opinions before you sell. And remember, even a single penny could be the gateway to a whole new hobby. So there you have it. The story of the 2000 United States 1 cent coin, a coin that seems ordinary but holds some extraordinary secrets, whether you're a lifelong collector or just starting out. It's a reminder that the treasures of history might be right under your nose. So go check your change. Look through those old jars. Flip through that coin album from your grandparents, because one of those shiny little Lincolns could be worth a whole lot more than a penny. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a coin worth collecting, and let us know in the comments. Have you ever found a rare 2000 penny? Or do you have another coin story to share? We love hearing from you. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2006 Lincoln cent, its history, rare varieties, collector demand, and current market value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone curious about what that little penny in your drawer is actually worth, this video will open your eyes to some truly incredible facts. Make sure to watch all the way to the end. You might just find out that you've been sitting on a small fortune all along. Welcome back to your channel name, where we uncover the hidden gems of everyday life and dive into the fascinating stories behind rare coins, collectibles, and valuable finds. If you love discovering treasures and learning about the rich history behind them, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on future videos. Now, let's get into the story of the 2006 Lincoln penny that could change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First issued in 1909, it honored the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure, and since then, the Lincoln penny has been minted continuously for over a century. By 2006, the penny had been around for nearly 100 years. The design on the obverse, or front, of the coin still featured the right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side in 2006 continued the long-running Lincoln Memorial design, which had been used since 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But here's where it gets interesting. Although the 2006 penny may seem like just another modern coin, there are several rare and valuable variations that can make this coin far more valuable than just 1 cent. And even regular 2006 pennies in pristine condition can be worth significantly more to collectors. So let's break it down and explore what you should be looking for. In 2006, the U.S. Mint produced the Lincoln cent at 3 major facilities: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; Denver Mint, D mint mark; San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Primarily for proof coins, the total mintage was billions of coins. Yes, billions with a B. So how can a coin that's so common possibly be valuable? It all comes down to minting errors, condition, rarity, and collector interest. First, The basic composition of the 2006 penny is important to note. It is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a change that was implemented back in 1982 to reduce production costs. This gives the coin its distinctive coppery color, but it also makes it more prone to wear, corrosion, and toning over time. Now let's talk about what makes the 2006 penny truly exciting. Rare varieties and errors. Here are some of the most sought-after 2006 penny varieties. 1. 2006 Double Die Obverse. DDO. This is one of the most talked about error types in modern coins. A double die obverse means that during the minting process, the die used to stamp the coin had a slight misalignment, causing doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's features. Look closely at words like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." If you see any doubling, that's a sign you might have something rare and valuable. Some DDO varieties have sold for $50 to over $200, depending on condition. Point 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned in the press. These can range from just slightly off to as much as 90% off-center. The more dramatic and clear the error, the more valuable the coin. These errors can be worth anywhere from $25 to $500 or more, depending on how severe the misalignment is. Point 3. Die cracks and cuts. Another type of error collectors seek are die cracks, which appear as raised lines or bumps on the surface of the coin. These happen when the die used to strike the coin begins to break. Cuds are larger breaks near the rim of the coin. Unique die breaks can turn an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Point 4. Proof coins from San Francisco, 2006. These coins are made with special care for collectors and have a mirror-like finish. A proof 2006. Lincoln penny graded PR 70 DCM, the highest possible grade, can fetch $20 to $50, depending on market demand. Condition is everything in the world of coins. A well-circulated 2006 penny might be worth face value, but in uncirculated condition, its value climbs significantly. Coin grading goes from poor, P1, all the way up to mint state, MS 70. Coins graded MS 65 and above are considered high quality by collectors. Here's a quick breakdown of values. 2006 P or D in circulated condition, usually just face value uncirculated. MS 65 around 25 cents to $2 high mint state. MS 67 or better can go for $10 to $50 or more. Rare errors, like off-center, double die, or die cracks $50 to over $1,000, depending on the rarity. Proof 2006. SPR 70 DCM. Around $40 to $75. Collectors are always hunting for the perfect strike, clean surfaces, no scratches, and sharp detail. If you think you have a mint condition coin or a potential error variety, getting it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC can significantly boost its value. So, what's happening in the coin market today? The demand for modern error coins and high-grade examples has been on the rise. Younger collectors and online marketplaces like eBay have made it easier for rare coins to fetch high prices from the right buyer. A 2006 penny with an eye-catching error or perfect grade can easily become the centerpiece of someone's Lincoln cent collection. Plus, with the continued rise in copper bullion interest and a fascination with pre-2010 US coins, even basic 2006 pennies in great condition are seeing higher interest among collectors. So there you have it. The 2006 1-cent coin from the United States isn't just a boring old penny. It carries with it a fascinating legacy, unexpected rarities, and the potential for real value if you know what to look for. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, a perfect proof, or just a beautiful uncirculated example, the 2006 penny proves that even the smallest coin can hold a big surprise. The next time you find a penny in your change jar, take a closer look. You never know when you might be holding onto a piece of numismatic gold. Have you checked your coins lately? Do you have a 2006 penny in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories and hidden treasures. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting and keep your eyes open, because the next coin you find might just be worth a fortune.